welcome to your reading for the signs for Taurus season for 2021. I was shuffling the cards just before I came on and one already fell out. Today we are going to start with Libra. I promised that I would start in the middle at some point, so why not now? This is my first reading for the sign for the change of the astrological signs. I don't know if I'll continue doing it, but it felt really good to be welcoming in Taurus season, a little more slower paced, grounded season after Aries, really feeling that full throttle energy. So Taurus season is really about spending lots of time in nature, working to build foundations, really feeling into that slow and steady process over fast and hard of Aries. And even though I'm in Aries rising, I'm really feeling this energy. I'm feeling called to soak in it, right? Taurus is ruled by the planet Venus, so beauty, love, maybe there'll be some changes to our looks. We also have some other planets in Taurus, so lots of Taurus energy going right now. And mine is happening as an Aries rising in my second house. It's always nice to check and see which house it's happening. It may affect that house. So the second house for me of material possessions, finances, and maybe a good time for an Aries rising like me and any of you other Aries risings to check and look into our finances, to our material possessions. So it's always nice to check your house, which you can do on astro.com. You do need your birth time for that. I think, was this the card? Put it back. So, as I said, Taurus energy is all about beauty and the finer things and indulging, and maybe we can bring in whatever lush indulgences feel good, but then me as a second house Taurus focused, where can I indulge maybe that isn't too maybe overspendy, or how can I indulge and practice self-care in a way that's regenerative and sustainable, because that's also what Taurus is about too, building things that are stable and regenerative. So again, we're going to be doing all 12 signs. I'll light some herbs for us so we can get more clear readings and energy. As I said, I already shuffled before I started the video, so the first card for Libra jumped out. So this is all Taurus themed, so for you to use throughout the season into about mid-May, I believe. Let's just look it up. And if you are a Taurus moon, if you have lots of Taurus energy, so through May 20th. So if you are Taurus rising, Taurus moon, you have other planets in Taurus, then I would check for the Taurus reading for the theme for Taurus season for you. But also Scorpio is an opposing sign of Taurus, right? In the 8th. So opposing signs can bring up some of that energy. And even if you don't have any, planets in Taurus or anything like that, any stelliums, which you would need 3 or more planets, or 4 or more, depending on how you look at it, you can still look to your opposing sign and you still have something in Taurus, depending on if you're looking at whole signs or not whole signs. You may have one whole house in Taurus, or you may have a couple different houses houses in Taurus. So you do have Taurus energy somewhere. It's kind of a falsity and a misunderstanding of astrology to think that we don't embody all the 12 signs. Our shadow sides of us, and the way that we can do shadow work is to look to see what we're missing. Like, for example, I'm missing lots of earth energy. So it's good for me to look toward, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus to see what I'm missing and maybe what I need in this lifetime. Moon energy, Cancer energy, that comes a lot easier to me, but not so much being grounded, maybe in calm and focusing on building foundations. I'm great at ideas. I'm not always great at following through. I've definitely worked on it and become better at it. Okay, let's start. Enough chitter chatter. So this is for Libra. This is Libra, your theme for Taurus season. So until about May 20th. And it says, all paths lead home, inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze inward. So Libras, it looks like you're being called to really get in touch with your intuition and your intuitive side. So if you've been focused a lot on outward things and other people, which oftentimes Libras are in their relationships, they're asking, you're being asked and called to this Taurus season to focus on yourself. And how can you do that? How can you get in touch with your intuition and your inner authority and follow your own path? It's possible that, the shadow side of some Libras, that they maybe put more into the relationships than they do themselves, right? Their opposing sign and energy would be Aries, which is the sign of the individual, independent, and their shadow side is that they can often be selfish. So again, the opposing signs can always borrow and usually need to borrow some of their opposing signs' energy if they're experiencing this lifetime as like a lot of their shadow side. So kind of coming home again to yourself. And I'm interested to see so 7, so if it would be, I'm just checking what house Taurus is in for Libra risings. So if you're a Libra rising, you would have Virgo if you're doing whole signs in the, you would have Scorpio in the second house. So looking into Scorpio energy and all that. So again, listen to these for your sign, moon, and rising. Moon if you feel it. I don't always listen for my moon. So Libras, you are really being called to go within, to do whatever it needs to come, what it means to you to come home to yourself again. Let's take a look in the book and see if it has anything interesting to say. Oh, okay, so also being called to maybe develop or switch up a spiritual practice, getting centered for the day before yourself, and finding simple ways, I love this, throughout the day to continue to come home to yourself. Often, especially if we're working outside the home and working with other people and putting lots of our energies outward, as Libras can do in their personal relationships, we can feel really far from ourselves. So keeping, your glimmers, the things that you love around you throughout the day, and going back to those so that you can keep returning to the home that you have within yourself. I really love that. I wonder how this lands for you, Libras. Have you been, has your energy been really feeling like it's external and not internal? What do you like to do to get in touch back with your intuition? Tarot's a great way. Oracle, you could pull a new card every day. And again, meditation practices are great too, but it doesn't have to be what you typically think of as meditation. well, there's great walking meditations. So yeah, just getting that call for you to say that. Scorpio. In Scorpio's second house, if you're a Scorpio rising, it would be in Sagittarius for you. So the energies of Sagittarius, and this fell out for you. Scorpios, Scorpio rising, Scorpio sun, maybe Scorpio moon, or if you have lots of Scorpio energy, lifting the veil, question everything, anything unaligned must go. Really feeling into this card, feeling into the energies of this card. This is kind of heavy work, right? Being called to, eliminate things that are unaligned. I'm getting the call that maybe just making the list, maybe becoming aware, Scorpios, becoming aware of what is unaligned, and what probably needs to go. I think Scorpios are probably good at questioning everything, right? But how are we feeling about this, Scorpio risings, Scorpio peeps? I think they're pretty good if they're not deep within their shadow side, lifting the veil, questioning everything. That's kind of what Scorpios are about. They're a little bit about the things that people don't want to talk about, the dark, the deep. If you have Scorpio energy in your chart, it's likely that you, maybe even in your career or your lifetime, are dealing with darker energy than other people are used to experiencing. So what needs to be discovered and uncovered, and is there something that you're not sure about? Question it. It's safe and okay to question things. Maybe do more research. And what is unaligned for you right now? Sometimes it can be really hard to pinpoint, and even when we do pinpoint, even harder to let go. I'm getting the call for Scorpios, if you're into it, to check into your human design and see how you feel. I feel things, mine's my sacral authority, so through the gut. Other people are feelings. So knowing what the right direction is for you to go through, feeling through the gut, or paying attention to your feelings. Maybe you need to sleep on it. Maybe you know right away and you just ignore it. Let's see. Yeah, what's not congruent in your life, and what are you being called to bring into harmony, Scorpios? Scorpios are often the people that have to lift the veil between worlds, or not have to, but they do. They have the resilience and the strength to do so, what other people don't often do. So you may be called on using your great Scorpio energy this Taurus season to get rid of what's not working. I'd love to hear from any Scorpios how this feels, and this is feeling aligned for you. And know that it's a process, and it's okay, and it's not going to be overnight. And when we let go of things, when we can get rid of things that are unaligned, even when it's uncomfortable, we're making space for the new, right? Also, if you don't know what feels unaligned, you can make a list of everything about your life, your daily life, the big, the little, maybe both. And then as you go down them, again, feel into it. I'm a gut person, so it's about feeling into it for me. And just looking at things and, how's my life going? How's my work going? How's my career going? Okay, these two flipped up, so it's gonna be 2 for Sagittarius, Sagittarius rising, Sagittarius moon. You got the love. Hadarian energy. codependency and boundaries. So Sagittarius is, how are you feeling about your boundaries? Maybe it's time to implement new ones. Is there any codependency going on in your relationships? And then Messenger, Sirius energy, bring harmony and balance. So the two B's, balance and boundaries. Sagittarians, do you need more balance and harmony in your life? And is there codependency going on? Boundaries can typically help us with codependency. You know, a healthy level of codependency is okay. I really love this image because they're kind of all meshing and melding into one person, right? And that's the problem. And that's how we get so dissociated and, I believe, and disconnected and lose touch with our intuition, is because we're just kind of melding into the people around us. And it's really easy as an empath or, you know, anything like that to fall into codependency because you really feel another's feelings and sometimes you want to heal and fix it for them. So yeah, maybe this Taurus season for you Sagittarians is about implementing some boundaries in your relationships. And I like that you got the love because it's often seen the other way. I think we're taught when we're growing up that boundaries are bad and wrong and they keep us from love, when really they bring us closer towards love, because it's about consent. We all have the right to consent and to have boundaries. So how are yours? And then this is really, I believe, a call to bring, harmony and balance. And I feel like these go together because maybe the harmony and balance you need is you can get through making boundaries. So maybe some boundary work for Taurus season. So throughout May for you Sagittarians, boundaries are love. And you can bring and find harmony and balance through implementing your boundaries. And they don't have to be what you see in social media. You know, boundaries can be as simple as, leaving someone's house early, not spending as much time with a person as you used to or you feel like you should because they really drain your energy. You don't have to make like a huge big declaration to the person, although you can, right? They're however you need them to be. Okay. Capricorn risings. Capricorn risings, Capricorn sun. Maybe Cap moons. Moon energy is, I feel like, is a little different. But if you feel like it resonates with you, read your daily horoscope to read your moon sign too, then that's fine. Okay, we'll go with it. 3 cards fell out for Capricorn. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Hiraeth, longing for home, homesick for the stars. Such a beautiful card, first of all, Capricorn. And this is really like a kind of a starseed card. If you feel like you have been longing your whole life for something and maybe you don't fit in, sometimes that can be a message that you are a starseed and you're being invited to remember in your lonely times and lonely moments, maybe during Taurus season. And where's this gonna be for you? Aquarius, which is about community and stuff. Maybe you can remember that you are part of a community. You're a part of a community of starseeds and beings in the world. And you can take it or leave it. I don't fully believe this because I feel like it can be spiritually bypassing, but there is a part of me that believes that in some small way we all have made a choice to incarnate here and to do certain work. I don't believe we have chosen specific traumas or anything like that, but it's a reminder that in a sense you chose to come here, to do specific work, and it doesn't invalidate your loneliness or your fears, but it's a strength that you can look to, and you can always connect to ancestors and to your other beings through ritual. That's what I'm really being called to and here for you. And then the second one for Taurus season for Capricorn is big picture thinking. So, Pleiadian. So Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. So how can you this Taurus season take small steps to lead toward your big picture ideas and your big picture thinking? Let's take a look at that one in case there's anything else that feels like wants to come out for that. Again, this is for Capricorn. You got 3, and I just went with it. Okay, so this is also a confirmation for any ideas or things that you have wanted to put into motion or work. Do it. It's a go. That's always nice. And then the last one is perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. Love this card. So maybe you need a little perspective shift. Common ground. Taurus is in Aquarius for you, which rules the 11th house and community and friends. And so how can you find common ground with your community and people this Taurus season? This is a go for any ideas. And a reminder, when you're homesick and alone, that you're never really alone. And that can be hard to hear when you're alone, because nothing replaces a physical body and physical energy, and especially during pandemic and restrictions. So I really feel that and honor that and validate that. I just feel like the message coming through for this for Capricorns is a reminder that you can always speak to deceased loved ones. You can always connect through a ritual, and in that sense, in that way, we're never truly alone. All right. Aquarius. What do Aquarians need to know? My goodness, another 3-carder? I guess I'll just let it happen. Maybe the Caps and the Aquarians need to know. Capricorn does rule the 10th house and the 2nd house, the 4th house, and the 10th house. I won't go deep into it because it's like too much, but they play off each other's energy. But this is Aquarius in the 11th house, so it doesn't really have anything to do with that. But anyway, okay. Breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. How are you trying to micromanage? How are you trying to control the things that you want in your life? And how can you release a little, let go, and maybe fall back on manifestation more and try to control less? And I also feel like it's a call to breathe. You're an air sign after all. I think all air signs can really benefit from breath work and breathing practices. How can you let go and focus on the breath more, Aquarians, this Taurus season? Trust the timing. Here's another letting go and trusting thing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. I love that. Time is not running out. You're an air sign, so you might have a lot of mental energy, fast thinking. Typically that's, we think of Geminis that way, but I feel like Libras can be, Aquarians can be too. Yeah, trust the wave you came in on. I feel like it really goes with this one. Trust and let go. How can you trust and let go? What practices can you call in? And again, I'm really hearing the call for a breath work, for a breathing practice, or even if that all feels too much, just how can you maybe set a timer, and when the timer goes off, go, oh, it was a reminder to breathe. Just once a day, even if it's just once a day. Star Brothers, Taurus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. So maybe how can you call in more male energy? This is also, I forgot I had to look at the book for this one because these are still fairly new to me, these beautiful cards. This one is really a call to ask for help and to be open to receiving it. Okay? And if you're an Aquarius rising, then Taurus, then you're gonna have Pisces in the second house, so Pisces energy. Okay, yeah, so maybe some breath work, breathing practices, watching the breath. This is for Aquarius. How are you trying to control things, and where can you let go? Maybe it's career, maybe it's relationship, maybe it's finances, maybe it's spirituality. Trust the timing, trust the wave you came in on. Time isn't running out. So again, trust. And then Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust, which those are all protection, loyalty, safety, and trust to me is like super Taurian energy, right? So where do you find that? What is safety to you? What do you trust? Who's loyal? Where is your loyalty? Where does your loyalty lie? And who and how can you ask for help this Taurus season? Okay, Aquarius, Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. I feel like singing. Okay. We have rapid winds right now. Rapid cold winds. Feel so safe and good being inside right now. Okay, 2 fell out for you. Pisces, I feel bad. I feel like Libra and Scorpio just got the shaft, right? But it is what it is. It's the energies that come out, the messages that people need, and maybe sometimes getting too many messages to focus on for a season is a lot. Okay, Pisces, for your Taurus season, this is your theme. Earth pulsing, pulse of the mother, slow down, and time in nature. How Taurus themed. Yes. Taurus wants to build and create and build good foundations. Yes. But they also want you to slow down, especially after fast, hard, maybe sometimes angry energy of Aries season ruled by Mars. Time in nature. So Pisces, spend time in nature where and when you can. When we do, I love that it says pulse of the mother, because I've spoken about this a lot if you follow me on social media, that we can regulate our nervous systems to the beat of nature. So if we're and we go into nature, our heartbeat starts to flow with the breeze in the trees and the flow of the streams. Great time to spend time in nature. great way to get clarity, and it's just so good for you. So Pisces, being called into nature and to slow down and to connect, I feel like, with Mother Nature. Portal, doors are opening, you decide. Rewards, wild card. So what do we feel like this one is? I'm gonna look this one up. I haven't really pulled this one a lot. Okay, so this is a sign that change is possible. If you've been looking for a sign for anything, this is it, Pisces. Now's the time to make big changes for you. If you've been guided to switch things up, you are extremely well supported right now. Use this energy and jump on in. I love it. Beautiful card. Soak it in. Take it all in. Time to take your harvest and taste your well-earned fruits. That's pretty Taurian to me. That's great. So maybe Pisces are resting, slowing down, and enjoying the fruits of their labor. Wondering if that resonates for you, Pisces. Okay, now we're coming back around the bend to Aries. What do you need to know for Taurus season? Okay, my dog's laying on the cards, but that's okay, only a little bit. He's a Virgo, so doesn't care about Taurus season. Okay. And dog astrology is a little different, right? Because time is different for them, and it moves so much faster, so we can't really do it the same way we can with humans. Okay, nothing coming out, so we're gonna pull one for my Aries. I remember soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life, or the destined life, as I would like to say. Soak that in, breathe that in, Aries. What are we feeling from this card? I think this Taurus season, this is really a call for Aries to remember why you're here. And maybe to spend less just going through the motions, doing the things that we feel like we're supposed to do, and focus deeply on what it is that you have been brought here to do. And if you don't know, maybe using this Taurus season as a starting point to figure that out. And to remember that there are two lives. There's the fated life and the destined life. And which one are you living at the moment? Taurus season can really be your breakthrough to figuring out what your destined life is, and to start moving away from the fated life. Because does your fated life fit you, Aries? What doesn't feel like it fits right now? I'm an Aries rising, and I can attest to I'm feeling like things don't fit, and I feel like I'm half in the destined life but still half in the fated life, doing things I feel like I should or have to. It's a big one, Aries. That's a big one. And what can we do? Self-assessments, Enneagram, astrology, tarot, human design, Myers-Briggs to find out these things. Read books, do research, take courses. That's what I like to do anyway. Ask people, find a mentor, get a coach, get a therapist, to get closer to that destined life, right? Okay, Taurus, big, big, big. I'm kind of hoping like 3 cards fall out for you, because we've had some 3 cards for everyone. But you know, sometimes, like I said, the one message energy is all we really need. Almost did there, but I kind of kept it in with my fingers because I don't want like 6 falling out. I feel like that's that's when the energy is muddled if I have too many cards falling out. Okay, Taurus, just the one message. Earthed. Wow. Earth sign. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. Okay, Taurus. Very interesting because Taurus is the sign of material possessions. And the shadow side of Taurus can be someone who is maybe overly fixed on their material possessions. So if you're feeling in that space as a Taurus, how can you become more in the world but not of it? Led by the material. I'm gonna look this one up. But I'm really feeling like, yeah, how can you distance yourself more from your material? How can you do things that are more, that you're being called to more for yourself that maybe don't have a payout? It's usually a Capricorn problem, right? That isn't, you know, how can you produce something just to produce it? How can you just create something just to create it without needing, you know, a monetary exchange for it? That's the message coming through. Yeah, and also, are you spending too much time in fantasy and imagination, and how can you come back down to earth? So those are the two messages I really feel being called to, because it's great to be spiritual, it's great to be up in that bubble like this person is, right? But they've got to come down at some point and focus on, you know, the practical things and the building of things, because that's, you know, being human. And we don't always see spirituality in things like paying the bills and having a good foundation, but it's what allows for that spiritual freedom, right? It's what allows for more time spent like this. So I think Taurus season, Taurians are being called to come back down a little, tend to the earthly things, but not be overly focused on their earthly things like their material possessions. That's what I feel. Any Taurians out there feeling this? Feel that way? Yeah, build that foundation, Taurus. Use this Taurus season to do that, because that's what it's all about. Oh, Gemini just popped right out. We the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. Soak that in, Geminis. Immediately hear this as a call to mother yourself, parent yourself. Use this Taurus season to indulge, take care of yourself, nourish yourself, lots of self-care, lots of cozy snuggles and food and tending to wounds and, yeah, things that your mom would do for you or does for you, or your caregiver or whoever had that mother energy for you, gave you that mother energy. And if they didn't, it's maybe even a greater call for Geminis to do what they need to do, what they feel called to get in touch with that mothering energy this Taurus season. Good time to do it, right? I kind of want to look this up because I want to look into the birth as a portal thing. Okay, so you're also being called to remember that you don't just have a mother in yourself or a mother that you have, and if you have a difficult relationship with your mother or mother figure, remember that there's always a cosmic mother that is there for you to reach out to you. for you to reach out to, and that if you're struggling in any way, you can use this starseed activation that I'm going to repeat to call in the Cosmic Mother. I allow the deep love of the Cosmic Mother to wash over me. I'm loved. I'm held. Okay, so maybe Gemini is really in need of that mother energy, in need of some mothering. How do we feel about that, Geminis? And Cancers. We're almost done. Maybe we'll pull them for the collective after. All right. Cancers, karmic relationships, Orient energy, polarity, soul growth, conflict. I don't have much experience with this one. I'm gonna sit with it for a minute and see what comes up. I'm also gonna look in the book. I feel like, this could be in relationship to yourself, looking at yourself, or a relationship to somebody else, and what karmic lessons are we learning through these relationships, and how can we tend to them this Taurus season? What relationships are challenging you that are not feeling fulfilling anymore? How do you feel separate from yourself maybe right now? This distance, if that's you and yourself, or distance between you and someone else. And you're being called on and asked to see things in life through a different perspective. Is there a conflict between you and yourself, a conflict between you and someone else that needs tending to this Taurus season? So Orion is thought to be by many a place of great polarity, but eventual unity. Some believe that many starseeds who are part of the cosmic history are incarnate on Earth now and playing out karmic relationships from Orion times. So Cancers, perhaps you're one of those. And as a Cancer sun myself, stellium in Cancer, lots of Cancer energy, Mercury in Cancer, Venus in Cancer. How do we give ourselves away to relationship, and how can we reconnect with ourselves and bridge that gap and close that distance? How are you being called to allow growth through the conflict you're having? Are you seeing all relationship conflict as bad and not worthy, or are you seeing the growth afterward? Or is it just the same karmic BS over and over? Geez, sometimes the words come out of my mouth for the pulls that are mine, and I'm like, yowza. Yikes. I'm feeling the energy of this one. Okay, Cancers, relationship to self, relationship to others. How are your relationships karmic? How is what you're learning through relationships like the same over and over again? When does it need to stop? Have you learned enough? Are you learning? And Cancers, if you're a Cancer rising, it's going to be Leo in the second house for you. sorry, James. Shuffled the cards on my dog. Okay. Cancer, that was now. Leo. Two more, Leo and Virgo. Leos. Starkeeper, cosmic ancestors. Seed the light by staying grounded. Leos. Take a look at that one. Gonna look it up. You may be called to be in different places in the world, to anchor your light, to bring your message. Leos always have a good light, don't they? And the more grounded you remain, the more stable Earth energy will become. More Earth energy for Taurus season. So this one is about possibly taking trips. So maybe Leos will be taking a trip this Taurus season in order to spread their gifts, spread their light, spread their message, or maybe just bring your overall energy to a place. And this could be a new place that you're moving to as well. Yeah, it's really a call to follow any messages coming through during Taurus season, to travel, to move, to safely during this time, to bring your light and your positive energy to, those who can benefit from and need it. Yeah, this is a nice one. It's also a reminder that you're here to grow as an individual, but also with the collective and as people, as a group. We've got Virgo in the second house, Leo's rising. So you can look to that for Taurus themed energy. Yeah, so maybe some travel. I would love to hear from any Leos. Or maybe you just did, or you just moved to a new place and you're bringing, it's just a reminder that you're there for a reason, and you're there to, you don't even really have to do anything. You can, but you're there to spread your energy and your light. And maybe you can. Maybe you are going to be working there, or you're doing a workshop, or, I don't know, selling stuff in a new place. I would love to hear, Leos. Maybe you're going to be a guest speaker somewhere. Okay, last sign, Virgo. And then we'll do one for the collective. Virgo, water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. Virgos, I love this for you. You do rule the 6th house, which is daily ritual, rest, routine, the body. Not necessarily rest, but, health, wellness, the body. This is a beautiful card. So, Taurus season, this is very Taurian themed again. Virgos, you're really being called to rest. How can you rest? How can you water your garden? So nourish yourself. Sometimes we forget to do these things. Shadow side of Virgo is that they're not taking care of themselves. They're not watering the garden. They're not making the bed, brushing their teeth. Right? These can be some signs of, especially if you come from developmental trauma, ways that you're not tending to yourself, nourishing yourself, taking care of yourself. Virgo risings would be Libra in the 2nd house, to get a flavor of where that would be. So then Taurus, and I'm telling you these 2nd houses so then you can look up where Taurus would be, which is kind of silly. I should have just told you where Taurus would be. So Virgo, you have Taurus in the 9th house. So, and again, this is whole signs. So it could be a period of higher learning and education for you. Okay. Yeah, Virgos, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. I don't think I could say it any better than that. How can you rest this Taurus season? Maybe get a massage, maybe sauna, maybe hot tub, maybe natural springs. It kind of looks like a natural spring water there to me. 10, 11, 12. Okay. We're going to pick one for the collective now. I think it was pretty clear, Virgos, that, yeah, good foods, rest, tenderness, body care. How can you specifically tend to your body this Taurus season? Okay, collective. Oh, that's just a bunch that fell out. Okay. Very interesting. This has come up a lot this week for me in conversation with my clients, a lot about being an empath. And in this case, an empathic starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. Taurus season. We can discharge the energy that we pick up from other people in nature by taking salt baths, salt showers, doing cord cutting meditations. Maybe this is a call for all of us to do a cord cutting meditation to cut those cords and that energetic hold that we have between us and someone else, something else. BT dub, when you're cord cutting, you're not like dooming someone to have something bad happen to them. It's just about clearing your energy and disconnecting your energy from their energy. How can you have energetic sovereignty? This is such a theme of what's been going on for me and my clients this week, and just lots of conversations. Maybe read up on, empath and empathic energy. How can we discharge what's not ours? And again, this is like when we walk into a grocery store. This is spending time with family. This is even just after getting off the phone. I clean my energy after I have client sessions. It's not about the client. It's about bringing a clear channel into my day for me, if it's the end of the day, or bringing a clear channel to another client. Okay. That was your Taurus theme reading for the 12 signs, and one at the end for the collective. I sure hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed doing it. I would love to hear from any of you how any of this resonated. What else? I have a free anger resource that I just posted today, rage, meditation, visualization thing. I have some fun things coming up before the end of the month. Free trauma and diet download that's coming out, and then a free or donation-based workshop depending on your circumstances and your finances about astrology and drama. I'm really excited. Again, I hope you really enjoyed this. Happy Taurus season, and yeah, I'll see you later.